Hi, this video is to introduce you to PHP and to give you a rough idea of what you can do with it. So, what is PHP? It is a server-side scripting. So what do you mean by server-side scripting? It simply means that whatever that you write in PHP has to be processed on a web server. If you have no idea what is a web server, don't worry. I'm going to explain to you by showing you this image. I'm going to use this image to explain to you how you actually get to see a web page when you type the URL on a web browser. Basically, what happens is that when you type in a URL of a web page, your browser is actually sending a request to the web server for a page. And then when the web server look at your request, it will try to find the content or the page that you would like to look at and send it back to you. The part where the web browser is located at is what we call client side, and the part where the web server is located at is what we call the server side. PHP comes into the picture as when we are needed to create dynamic website or dynamic web pages. Dynamic web pages are pages where the content is not static, meaning that the content changes according to the request from the web browser. For example, let's say now if I have an e-commerce website, I will have a lot of products. So it is not possible for me to create static web pages for those products. When I say static means that let's say if I have 100 products, it means that I need to create 100 HTML pages. This is not possible. That is why we need to create dynamic web pages using server-side scripting like PHP and a database server. What happens here is that the content of all those products will be stored in a database server. It's more like an Excel sheet where you put in all the content or the information of the product on an Excel sheet. Then after that, PHP is used to act like a translator or middleman between the web server and the database server. So let's say the web browser sends a request to the web server for the page about product A. So what happens is that the information about product A is actually located in the database server. So what happens is that web server needs to communicate with this database server through PHP. So PHP will be used to connect both of these servers together and then to get the information needed. So once the information has been gathered, PHP will help the web server to include the content into HTML format before sending it back to the web server to be delivered to the web browser. So at the end of the day, the content that you see is still in HTML, but it's generated using PHP. So now I hope that you have a better understanding about what is PHP, what it can do, and Why is it called server-side scripting?